feels good. Come on now. Have a seat down on the big brown couch. Come on in. We in the green room. Have a seat down on the big brown couch. It feels good. We in the green room. Have a seat. Those wax on the big brown couch.
Welcome back, folks. It is episode 6 of Lost Wax Backstage on the
Big Brown Couch.
We have, of course, Shelby Winfrey with us today.
Hello.
Ebony Fondren is still in Paris right now, finishing up her album release party. Sending all the love to you, Eb, by the way.
Love you, Eb. Love you so much.
But we're here, our guest today, Michelle Gainey.
Oh, so
out of
excited.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Michelle, thanks for coming today. Thank you so much.
She is, it's been 20 plus years. Lemiga Events is the company that she started.
Yes.
She founded Lemiga 2004 in Atlanta.
Wow.
She's one of the biggest luxury event planners in the industry there. And
literally, I'm so excited to hear
I
that.
am so pumped to jump into this with her because, and this is our first guest that we've actually not done an event with yet. We get to pick her brain from her side of things. So
it's so exciting. I feel like we're just gonna get into your story and hear about your expertise and things that we're just starting to dip our toe into your world. So I'm just very interested in it. Very
well,
interested.
first off, Michelle, welcome. And thank you so much for making the trip here to be with us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us your story.
Oh, that's a big question.
Yes.
My story.
Where'd you come from? How did you start? How did you get
The good,
into
the bad, the
this
ugly.
industry? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
How did you get to where you are?
So as you said, 20 years ago, the industry is not then what it is today, for sure. I didn't grow up wanting to be an event planner. I grew up watching The Cosby Show and Claire Huxtable, and I actually wanted to be a lawyer from the time I was in 4th grade. And so I went to college, got a degree in political science, thought I was going to go to law school, took a gap year, met a boy, fell in love, got married, and then that just sort of like started life on a different path. I planned my wedding in a month, and
wait, hold on. You're an events planner.
Wait a second.
In a month.
Rewind.
Yeah.
Rewind.
it's a longer story.
Okay.
The trajectory of
story.
life completely changed.
Completely changed, and that was the first time that I had this introduction to this creative side and my type A personality, which is very much like make a plan, work the plan, get it done. And after my wedding, I just had like this feeling of letdown of like, it's over, what's next? And so I started helping friends and family with their parties and their events, doing a lot of milestone birthdays, baby showers, and everyone really encouraged me, like, you're really good at this. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not something that you like earn money at. It's just something you do for fun. I didn't have a model to look at in terms of how to really make this a career. And so it was in 2004. I was on maternity leave with my daughter, and I realized that this passion, I really wanted to turn it into something to see how far it could go. And I started my business with the help of a photographer friend who was already doing weddings and really believed in me. Did my first website, my first logo.
Okay.
And
Jumping into it.
Yeah, jumped in. And from there, it's just been a journey of discovery, of really digging deep into my purpose, my passion, and how to really reflect that in the work that I do and the clients that I serve.
Wow. So it seemed like it just became this alignment for you.
It did. It absolutely did.
The moment that you started into your family life.
Right.
And then it just kind of pivoted you to this creative world that you weren't really in before, right?
I was not an artist. I was not into fashion and design. I think that my, really where my purpose comes from is connecting with people and creating these moments, like really being able to see someone and what their heart's desires are and how can I express that into design, into an event, and bring that to life.
Wow, I love that.
So,
Well, real quick before we jump into it, how many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
Okay, 3. All right.
Yes, 20, who's going to be a junior in college in a couple months.
Okay, college
18,
girl.
who's going to be a freshman.
All right.
And then we started all over, and so I also have a 9-year-old son.
The baby.
Yes, the baby.
Oh, I love it.
So I have it all covered.
And you guys are in Atlanta. That's where everything's based. Like Lemiga's based from there as well.
Exactly.
So getting through, so Lemiga was you based in 2004. You started it in your hometown, right?
Yes.
Hometown. So how did you push that in? Like how did it start growing from where you started? Because you said you were on maternity leave.
I was on maternity leave, so I did do the side hustle for a couple of years, where it was, how do I take this passion? I know I want to do it, but I have a family, so I can't quit my full-time job and just, throw caution to the wind. And so at that point, I was, trying to find any education I could, trying to research the industry, find other people to look up to. And I actually went to a conference, and I heard a planner who I very much admired and sat in on her session, and she talked about how she only does 5 events a year.
Wow. And
they are a minimum of $1 million each.
Whoa.
And that
Goals.
while, there might be 50 million weddings a year in her city, she only needed 5. And with those 5, she could feed her family, make a good living. And it really shaped my perspective of it's about quality over quantity. And so I never had a business that was set up to do 50 events a year. I wanted a good balance between my family life, serving clients, and doing work that I truly loved and believed in. And with that, that meant that every event that I did and the client that I served, I did it well. And so while it was slow to grow, slow to, expand my business, it came through really intentional service. And that meant that I had longevity, and that very rarely do I work with a client one time. Like, I become their person. And so that has just, it's for anyone that DMs me on Instagram. I don't have the how to be a planner in 30 days, how to, grow to $1 million in 2 months. My journey's 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not,
quick. So let me ask you, how was juggling social life, family life, moving into all of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like with that, there's a lot that goes into putting on $1 million event. What did
and
what
it's
was
a
that
lot
like
of
for you?
hard lessons learned. I actually feel like I'm really grateful that I started my business with a family. I have friends who are planners who did the opposite, where they were doing 50 weddings a year, and then they got married and had kids, and it was
the shift from that is crazy.
It was really, really hard. For me, it was the reverse. So, I had my husband sitting at home going, can you put the laptop away? My kids are saying, we want you to play with us, be here with us. And so I definitely had to learn how to turn it off. I can't, and especially when you do work that you love.
Yes.
And you would do it all the time. It forced balance in my life. And I think it's okay. It's okay that you're not going to see a brand new event on my Instagram every week, but when you do see it, you're going to say, wow,
It's going to blow your mind.
Well, it's going to be full of intention and meaning. Yeah. And so I, really focus on meaning instead of quantity. And it's the same with my kids. I always had the mom guilt of, there are going to be times that I'm going to miss it. I miss one of my kids' first day of kindergarten. I was like, I'm the worst mother ever. She's going to be scarred for life. She's always going to remember this. And she actually did a paper on, and she didn't tell me, it was a presentation on a business person that I look up to. And she didn't tell me she was doing it. She Googled me herself, did all of her research, and did this presentation on why I was a business person that she admired.
Oh my gosh.
And what it taught me was, for every moment that I thought I had failed, my child was watching me and saying, if she can do it, I can do it. If I see how hard she's working, they are my biggest cheerleaders. She'll be the first one to be like, Mom, I love that event. I love what you're doing. But also what I really tried to do was, when I was with my family, I'm with my family. So that means creating boundaries with my clients, creating boundaries,
Huge.
Everything you do is intentional.
Look, I can tell you that I've band-led so many events on the Lost Wax side of things where I have emails coming in from clients at like 8 p.m. at night, 9 o'clock. I'm laying in bed with my wife. I'm sitting there. And they're like, well, they want this. And it's just like, shut it down. Like, you've got, like,
but also, you have to get to a place that you have to understand it doesn't mean that it's bad customer service or that it's a loss.
True. Exactly.
And one of my favorite phases is we teach people how to treat us.
Wow.
And so when we teach them that within these hours, you have my undivided attention. When we have a meeting, I'm focused on you. I'm not responding to emails.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're going to be taken care of, that you're heard. The texts at 8 p.m. aren't necessary.
There's no miscommunications anymore because you've made it clear, like the boundaries of when.
Well, let it be clear. I've learned my lesson through the years, and like, and I
literally happily married.
Like, I have a policy now where I'm like, even with like Clay or our operations directors, everyone, I'm like, look, guys, it is 5 o'clock. We're shutting this thing down.
It's
I have
needed.
my kids. I have bedtime. I have these things to do.
Those boundaries are needed.
But you know what? It's that's such a beautiful thing. Like, that your daughter recognized that, because like, even with my 2 kids, I've got 1 and 5, and it's like, to showcase that, like, to set that example for them is so huge. And it's
for them to then turn around and pour into your cup.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and I always say that if I did 50 weddings a year, and like, one of my favorite things to do every year is this planner, and it's cultivate what matters, and it has you focus on when you're 80 years old and you're looking back on your life, what would have mattered? And for me, it's not going to be that, oh, do you know whose wedding I did, or that I did this event? It was, I showed up for my kids, that they felt loved, that they felt cared for. And the work that I do allows me to be there for them, but also fills my cup, but not to the detriment of my family. And so the fact that they acknowledge that I am doing enough and that they do feel loved and cared for, like,
you didn't have to ask for it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
And it's so crazy because, like,
look at me, that you're just doing your best.
Yeah.
And
that the best is enough.
And the best is enough.
Yeah.
So that's probably so validating.
It is.
That you've been able to spread yourself thin in a lot of ways and still be receiving that love on the job front and on the family front.
And I can't do it without my village. Like, having my mom, like, my mother-in-law lived with us at one time. Like, my husband, who is, schlepping the kids because I'm out of town. Like, I travel a lot for work. And so it really did and does take a village for me to be able to live my dreams. And yes.
It's funny because we were, we'd been hanging on the way from the airport to here, and we were talking about that Southern hospitality thing. And it's just like that, like, and it's funny because one of the follow-up questions I was going to have, which you kind of already answered, is like, if your body of work was going to speak for you, what would it say? And I feel like you kind of just answered that.
It is. Like, I was seen, and I was cared for, and I felt loved.
Yeah.
Like, every event, that is the greatest compliment for a guest to be like, it wasn't even my party, but you guys took such good care of me. Like, no one should have to wonder, where's the bathroom? Or I needed a drink and the line was too long, or I didn't know which way to go. Like, from the time a guest enters an event, I want someone to be there with a smile on their face. Welcome, it's so good to have you. Like, even you guys, everyone that I've met, it's been like a genuine look me in the eye.
It's so sweet because I feel the same way about you when you
Michelle
got there.
Gainey approved this podcast and this establishment, Jukebox Media.
When we picked you up at the airport, you were just all smiles. It was like everything you're pitching to us has been your vibe since the minute we laid eyes on you.
It's how you carry yourself. Like, 2 seconds into meeting, I was like, we're going to vibe already because it feels like we have the same mentality of just, it's like a familial type of bond, like a village type of bond, but it's like you also got to have that, like, professionalism and the boundaries, and so it's a line that you walk, but if you walk it well. So that's why you're the best.
Well, we had talked about, it's like, it's the same way, like, it's the Midwest values that we have here based out of Kansas City, which is why I love our industry here as much as I do. And you were talking about the Southern hospitality thing. There's a lot of alignment there.
Yeah, well, I also want to talk about that. Like, what is it like? What's the the Southern events industry? Like, what's
what is Atlanta like?
Do you guys compete? Is it like, what's the vibes? Is it familial?
Being 20 years in,
I know.
I feel like we have the OG crowd where, we really grew up together in this industry. We started our businesses at the same time. We've supported one another. And then we've got the newer, the newcomers that are bringing fresh energy, but that, I feel sort of a sense of if there's anything I can do to help, to guide, to answer questions. I think that I'm a big believer that what's meant for me is meant for me, and my client is my client. And we have all worked with clients where they were a nightmare and you couldn't pay me enough to work with them.
Yes.
And
she said that so calmly.
I'm very happy to say, you know what, I think there's someone who's a better fit for you.
Oh my God, with a smile on your face.
That's the Southern way. That's the Southern way.
Sweetheart.
Oh, bless your heart. There's somebody better for you out there.
And go on somewhere.
Well, and there's something to be said about, you were talking about only working so many events a year, that I feel like there's kind of a freeing feeling to know I'm only going to take on this many clients, and doing it with intention, I feel like is
really letting go. Like, instead of trying to make something work,
chasing.
I want that inquiry that checks all the boxes, and I know within 5 minutes of talking to someone if this is going to be a good fit or not. I really do.
Yeah.
So what is so let me ask you this, like your process when you have a client that comes into you, what are some things that check your boxes for you that say, this is a client that I want to work with?
Like how you know for sure that you're going to move forward.
Do you have a predetermined checklist, or are you just going in?
I feel like after this long of doing it, I do without having a checklist. I think that I always joke, like, we have psychological questions baked into the inquiry process.
Yes.
To try and ward off.
You're so right.
Those
to make sure we vibe.
Yes. So the key words that if anyone says, I'm like, okay, how are we getting out of this is, I'm really a control freak and I handle everything myself, and I really don't know how I'm going to be able to let go and let someone else take over. That's like how am I going to back out of this? Because I say, we're on a bus together. Two people cannot drive this bus. Either you're going to let me drive it and we're going to get to the destination, or you're going to make us crash because you want to keep trying to interject and drive the bus.
I'm going to have to start having you script with some of our clients.
We need you.
I am harvesting all this energy from you because I love this.
I want a client that trusts that I'm the expert.
Oh, yeah.
You hired me to be the expert, so let me do my job.
We talk about this all the time.
Okay, we talk when I do scriptings as a band leader with Lost Wax, there's so much of when you're hiring our band to take on your night, which
we're the music portion. We're any sound that you hear and
being the soundtrack for your
experience in the evening.
To me, it's like the amount of money you're putting into it.
Right.
It's like you have to have this trust in us. And if you sit there and nitpick at things, you're going to take us out of our comfort zone of things that we know we're going to do well.
Yes.
And for us, and it's funny because I talk to a lot of the other band leaders. I'm like, there's a way to script these events to guide these clients to just say, it's not like we want to customize this event and make you as comfortable as possible, but also let us do our job.
Right.
Because this is what we've been doing for years and years.
Not saying we can't deliver some crazy requests.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
will. We will.
And speaking of crazy requests, I really want to know, and this may be already a rapid fire question, but what are some crazy requests that you've been able to do?
Oh, I don't even know if I can say them on camera.
They're not.
Now you can spill the tea. We won't cut these into reels. You can still spill it.
I'll choose a PG one. I like to joke that I'm retired from rappers. I did a lot of rapper events where there were some questionable requests.
Yes.
We can talk about that at cocktails over dinner.
Is this a PG?
Yes, please.
But
she said it's
because her
X-rated.
Her client list is crazy.
Oh yeah, and I'm very interested.
She's talking about Migos, Cardi B, Drake,
anything.
Yes.
Vibes.
So I'll think of like a more PG one. I think that
how's she? They're in her brain.
I
right
can't
now,
wait
swimming.
till dinner and drinks after this podcast. This is gonna
Sorry,
be amazing.
guys. This is exclusive. You may get
we need that Patreon
Yeah,
content.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for the Patreon. Sign up
Clay's
for the
over off
Patreon.
camera. Go give me that money,
Clay's
dude.
ready. Set it up. Set it up. Okay. Give us a PG special exclusive thing that you gave to your clients.
Goodness, I think I was telling. We were talking earlier about. I really love to layer in entertainment in a way that it creates the energy. You know, whether we want guests to be introspective, if we want them to be sentimental, if we want them to be excited, if we want the party to start. Like, I love layering entertainment to like create that. And so
Love that.
there was one wedding where the as a surprise, because the bride and the bride's father didn't know, but they had a special dance. And the artist that sings it in real life actually came out to perform it.
Love it.
With slideshow of them dancing throughout the years.
Get
as
out.
father-daughter. And then that same wedding, when the bride and groom, went to do a wardrobe change, and they came back in to open the dance floor, but they came back in with their because they met in high school, their entire high school marching band.
What?
With the cheerleaders and the majorettes
What?
included. I just love creating moments that surprise and delight that nobody's expecting. And, we definitely get into some territory of how crazy of a request is it, and how can we make it happen?
Feels like you would do the crazy request. Feels like if it's
absolutely.
unique and
Absolutely.
different. See, now we need to be getting high school marching bands to start the
Look,
dance
I
floor
am
for
all
Lost
about
Lives
creating those moments. Now, one thing I do want to
list.
jump into before we get too far is obviously the Lemiga name.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to explain, because we talked we had a few drinks before we got on the podcast, and you were kind of giving us some background. But where did Lemiga come from? Where did the name come from?
So when I was naming my company, there were a lot of like circle of love, bliss, wedding day. I wanted something that wasn't typical. I felt like, yes, it may be hard to say, but once you associated the name, you weren't going to forget it. And I wasn't going to be confused with anybody else. The domain was going to be available. Social media wasn't around then, but since then the handles are
Such
available.
simpler times
all the
back then,
things.
right?
Back in the day.
But it came from my first, middle, and last name. So it's the first two initials of my first, middle, and last name.
Okay.
And that became Lemiga. So it's a made-up word.
It's so you, though.
It is so me.
Oh
it is
my
so me.
gosh. And it has
It's
a
very
ring
much
to
like
it.
Yes.
yeah. We have a photographer friend of ours that did Ipega photo.
photo.
Jessica Rourke. Shout out Jessica
And
Rourke.
it's agape backwards.
It's agape backwards.
Cute.
Yeah.
People always ask
But
all
it's
the
it's
time.
a very unique name, and
Yeah.
it's something that everyone remembers.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
anyway,
It's got a
I
good
just
story.
wanted to get a clip of that.
Sure.
But
Lemiga. It
so
is you.
let me ask you this: like, what do you feel like over your 20 years? What is like the breakthrough moment for your career has been? Like how?
Like, when did you figure out that this is your calling?
Was there
was there a moment that made you feel that way?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's been several moments that make me feel that way. I can, look back and see pivotal moments throughout where it's like when you're playing a game and it's like the next level's unlocked.
Oh, we love that. We talk. Oh my gosh, Shelby, how many times we
You don't
talked
even
about
realize how many things you are saying that is just
level unlocked when we
completely
do
my
events.
reality.
And Clay's off camera. He knows that we talk about this all the time. Level unlocked.
No, we level unlocked.
Sorry,
It's
go on.
crazy.
So
that you feel of it
it's
like that.
been like a series of those where you just feel like that shift. I remember when as a new planner, you're doing everything for everyone, just trying to make everyone happy. And I attended a wedding industry kind of just workshop with this amazing business coach, Sean Lowe, and he really challenged me. Like, okay, who are you? What do you do? I'm Michelle Gainey. I'm a wedding planner. I do beautiful and elegant weddings and events. He was like, but that's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Everybody does beautiful weddings and events. Wow. That person does it, that person. And it was so interesting because in the room, all of these other industry peers were like, no, you don't understand. This is what she does, and she does it so well. And he was like, but if she can't tell me what she does, she's not talking to anyone. If you're not speaking directly to who you're trying to reach, you're not speaking to anyone.
Wow.
And so that really started a shift for me. And he was like really pushing me. And he was like, what makes you come alive? What makes you excited about what you do? And for me, it's definitely the design and telling a story through the design and really creating something that didn't exist. And it might be something very mundane that everybody is like a very basic thing. But when I do it, I take it to the highest level. And so that was really where I made that connection of I am an event designer. And with that, I will design your event, I will plan your event, but I will never just plan your event. And that shifted everything from my website, the visuals I was showing, and I started getting clients that were like, I don't know what it is about you, but when I see it, I resonate with it.
You're manifesting that.
I'm resonating, but I'm sorry, I'm manifesting, but I'm also, when you have that look, that feel, the words, everything that speaks to you, it's like she gets me, she knows me, even without me having a conversation.
Okay, so I do want to prompt this next question because, like I said, we'd been having drinks a little bit at the hotel before we got here, and you laid out so beautifully. You were talking about experiences at weddings with like sensory. Experience stuff like from now. I want her to explain this because the way she laid this out was so incredible.
Is that another additive to what you're talking about when you're making the
right? Like I don't want it just to be a pretty event. Like to me, that's boring. I think it's everything, and I have an event coming up that I don't want to say too much about, but I'm really excited about it because it's allowing me from everything from the colors to the food and beverage, to the entertainment, the design, like really taking the guests on a sensory experience. Wow. And to me, it's not just about how pretty something is. From the time that you walk in, was valet easy? Valet by itself can mess up somebody's entire day.
Preach.
And now they have an attitude when they walk in the door, and everything has...
I'm a valet guy all the way. My wife is always like, go park the car somewhere. I'm like, no, just pull it up and valet.
You're right, but why do you do that? Why do you valet?
Because it's the experience.
You want it to
if I am out with my wife, she is just, and God love her to death, but she's just like, I'll go park the car. I'm like, no, we're out tonight.
Yes.
Let's go valet this car. Let's have a nice night.
Let's make it a moment.
Yeah.
You're going for the moment and the experience.
And I'm going to say, okay, different love languages, by the way.
Yes. Trust me. We can go into that. Very different love languages. Which is why we're so compatible, because I feel like we're trying to find each other's love languages.
Yes.
Like I feel like, these three always line up at the polar three, and you're trying to figure out how to feed those other three.
Right,
anyway.
but different conversations.
Yes,
We could talk about that all day.
Okay. But what I want is from the time that the guest arrives, number one, going back to that Southern hospitality. And if you come to my mother's home, you're gonna have a warm hug. You're gonna have something good to eat. You're gonna have a smile. You're gonna feel like you are the most important person on the world. And I want our guests to every event. I don't care if I'm in Atlanta, if I'm in Mexico, if I'm in LA. Like there is that sense of hospitality that follows wherever we are, and it's making every guest feel seen, cared for, and loved. And so it goes for that welcome smile when you walk in the door, that the lines aren't long at the bar, that you have a place to sit, that you have good food, you're not hungry at the end of the event.
She said good food.
You're not going to McDonald's afterwards.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Not the McDonald's.
Well, and
the music like stirs something in your soul. Like you have those memories of it being a highlight moment in your life. Like that is what I strive for with everything.
Well, and as someone that's like a creative and an entrepreneur, like how do you navigate there's got to be some tension between your signature aesthetic and your design and pushing yourself to kind of fit what the client needs.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of the two. Like because sometimes they're probably going to come up with something that is just so clashing with what you think is going to go
I have
with
done
all their
everything
guests.
from stormtroopers to
Yes.
You know, like I promise yes. But it was the best. It was the best.
Oh, we've done.
Okay, I can
you know
see
what I'm
it.
saying? It's like, to me, it's not about the style, it's about the execution.
Okay, so your execution, that is your
So
own,
my execution is the consistency. The look, the feel, they know that.
That's huge,
Because
yeah.
that client in particular, like, they were huge sci-fi couples.
Yes.
And they were like, if we did our wedding on our own, it would look like a 5-year-old's birthday party. But we know when we hire you, it is going to be the most elevated sci-fi wedding ever.
And people will remember that forever.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just like a little backyard.
No, it was flawless. It was cohesive, but it also was elevated. And so I'm always trying to elevate
that is
no matter
such
what I do.
That is such a amazing point that you just made, is like taking, like, I don't know, the answer you just gave that was perfect, because
it's her vision, no matter what, like it's the way that you're executing your vision is gonna give them what they want, because they're coming to you for an elevated vision. Like they have a vision and they're like, yo, I want to do this and I can't. Yep. You're the one who can do this, and you're not the only one who can do this. You're the one who can do it the way that I know you can do it.
We did one time where a couple just sprung it on me, like the day of the event. They were like big into Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yes.
And you remember that? Yes. And they made me put they had a cape and a sword, and they're like, put this cape on and roll this Dungeon and Dragon dice, and I was like
the die would
would
decide what they're doing next.
Yeah.
It was a whole
thing.
But
you do it, and I said, like, Dan Duncan, who is one of our shout out to Dan Duncan. He had the vibe and the aesthetic, and I was like, brother, can you please get out there? Because he was and he went out there and just absolutely crushed it.
Shout out Dan Duncan.
Yes, shout out to Dan Duncan, by the way. And he went out there. We had the theme music going on, but it was like sprung on us last minute, and I was like, but you can't say no.
No, right? And I always say that we are the experts, and there are going to be things that get thrown in, but you hire experts because we know how to get it done, and we know how to get it done well.
Absolutely.
And I know that, a client may say, I want you to make some chocolate chip cookies. I just know I want chocolate chips in it. I want these to be the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever had in my life. Mm-hmm. And I know when I add a little cinnamon or I add some nuts, like it's whatever it is that I add to it, it's going to take it and make it the best chocolate chip cookie they've ever had.
You are a magic woman.
I have a client that has me in her phone as magic maker.
That does not surprise us whatsoever.
It's so crazy that how you were on a completely different path and like committed to that before you got into this.
Yeah.
And then you just dipped your toe into it, and then you just jumped into it fully. And this is like the huge things you're doing, which we're going to get into. I know we've been talking we're really vibing right now. Like I love it.
We could stretch this conversation for 3 hours.
I'm honestly so interested. Yeah. But okay, I really, really do want to know, for you specifically, because we know that you're super innovative, and we know that you're putting your touch into everything that you do. If you could create a dream, like a dream event, that with no input from anybody else.
Yeah.
No budget.
How would you approach? No budget. Like, is it destination? Is it like, what are you picturing for something? Like, if you just had no constraints at all.
This is such a tough question.
What you want. It is really tough, but I feel like maybe you've had dream. If I could only do.
I actually have, and I feel like I keep dreaming new dreams because I get those opportunities. Mm-hmm. And so when you're like, okay, I want to do this, and you do it, and then it just allows you to keep going higher and higher. I think what I haven't done that I definitely would love to do is a multi-day destination event in Europe. Ooh. I haven't had the chance to do that yet, but do it where it is a full experience throughout the weekend with multi-day events that, every event has its own theme, its own vibe, its own entertainment. I'm really excited about an event that I'm doing this summer because I feel like I've gotten one of those opportunities where it's...
Okay, can you talk about it?
I don't want to give it away.
Yes, I know. You have so many secrets.
It's coloring outside the lines. I am a type A person where I like order and boundaries and to know what the plan is, but I do that so then I can go outside of the lines.
Outside the box, outside
Yeah, because I want it logistically to work. I might say I want someone to fly in from the sky, But how's that going to happen? And how's it going to be done well? And how's no one going to get hurt? And is it going to be on time? And will the guests be able to see it? And how's it going to be captured?
Do you hear all the details? Do you hear, when you make these requests, these are the details.
It's so funny because we were planning like a luxury event in October, and they're talking about flying like truss in from the top, and Clay, our operation manager, and I are like, he's like, all right, well, who's going to fly the rigging? Who's going to do this? And I'm like, well, we're going to figure it out.
But it's my job to figure it out and have it execute well. Yeah. And so I will just say that I love any opportunity to be trusted with the ability to color outside the lines of my very meticulously planned.
And once again, give me the keys. Let me drive the car and get us there.
You know she's a master when she's type A and she wants to color outside the lines. Like,
I love
that just means you've been doing this so long.
Well, and in this industry, I feel like you have to have a little bit of both. Like you, I mean, type A is definitely a big.
It gets you far.
You need to be there, but like you have to be able to color outside the lines.
Also, the B's there, okay.
And the luxury events industry now.
But I also think what's so important about that, to your point, and what you hinted to earlier, is also assembling the right team. That I can set you up for you to knock it out of the park. Like, I don't want to micromanage everyone. I want to bring on the best of the best.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, I love
you
so much.
I want to explain my vision, explain the client and their heart's desires, and then trust that like, I know enough about everything, enough to have an intelligent conversation, enough to know how to troubleshoot, enough to know the right questions to ask, but I have no desire to play music, to design the set list.
You want to trust your vendors to know what they're doing.
Yes.
Now, speaking of what you were talking about, your team, which is something we talked about earlier, like, so your team, how does that work for you? Like, do you have a set team of people?
Do you have a small team?
I don't. I really try to keep it very lean. I think COVID taught me that, keeping overhead low is the best business model to really withstand the hard times. And so I work on a basis of assembling a team based on the project. I don't just do weddings. I do a lot of corporate events. I do social events. And so really putting together the team that has the right skill set allows me to, and I work with a lot of the same people, so they know how I want things done. I know their skill set and what they're going to add to the team. But then that way I staff according to the project. So then I know that I have the money to pay people. Yes. I know that I'm going to be able to, service the event and with the best the best people that are going to be able to serve it. And then I have a great group of wedding planner friends that we support each other with big events. And what's great is I'm not bringing an intern to, run this event. Yeah. It's someone that has the same level of experience, and we can support one another and make sure that I left you in the room. I know you're going to get it done.
Yes.
Exactly. And I'm not worried that, it's all going to fall apart.
So strong relationships is what has gotten far.
Strong relationships and just hiring for what I don't have. So I'm not trying to bring another me on.
Okay.
If I need someone that's going to do the things that I can't do and be in the places I can't be in. If it's an event where there's, 3 locations and, 400 people, I physically can't be in all the places.
Yeah.
Right.
So making sure that I know that I'm covered in
personnel where they need to be.
Yeah.
Personnel where they need to be.
Well, that's incredible, and that takes so much trust, and I feel like it takes a lot of experience in the industry to know that you have the trust in the people that you need to bring on.
I'm sure you've had times where you've trusted someone and they've dropped the ball. So it's like, in the beginning, earlier times. So it's
absolutely. I think you learn every event that I do. I cannot say that I don't learn something in pivoting and changing and adjusting so that you continue to get better and better.
And that's what I always say. Like we run into so much of that stuff with Lost Wax events on band logistics stuff, to where everybody will look at a failure or something that goes wrong as something that's terrible. And I'm like, that is nothing but a learning experience for us. And it may have gone wrong. We'll find a way to fix it.
Absolutely.
But for me, it's like that goes on the checklist of like, okay, we learn from that. We move on from it.
And 9 times out of 10 for me, it's usually something that the client didn't even notice.
Yes.
Or know that happened, because we were
so
good about figuring out, getting the job done, making sure it got taken care of. I'm a big believer in we're a team. There's no such thing as it's not my job, it's your job, it's whatever it takes get it done and to make sure that the event keeps going. And, you know, we support one another.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of events that you do, that you get into, so the recess events, which is something that we're very interested in talking about because explain some of that to us. What's the recess events?
So, you know, I've been in the industry for a minute. I've been to 1,000,001 networking events. Much like what you guys are doing, you're always finding different ways to interact with people and connect with people. And it actually started from my son getting in trouble at school. He's a little social butterfly. And the teacher's like, no matter where I put him in class, he's friends with everyone and he talks. And she's like, I tell him, like, just wait till you go to recess. Like, that's your time to play and have a good time. And I felt like I love being able, you know, we work hard together. And yes, we'll go and we'll network and say, how's your year? My year's fine. How's yours? What's going on? But I feel like so much connection comes through play. And just having a chance to just let your hair down, have fun. And so I came up with the idea of Recess by Lemiga Events. And it's an industry event where we just get together and we connect over play. And so the first one was Cinco de Mayo. And, you know, we had moments where we had a gratitude wall where you could write about a vendor friend and just expressing gratitude.
Shelby's language right now.
We had
Continue, my queen.
We had connection cards where people could, you know, a stranger would sit at a table and you would have things to talk about. We had piñatas stuffed with money and gift cards and
Shelby's going to sneak her way into one of your events.
I'm going to need to go to this. So
we had
it's
dance
like playtime for adults.
It's playtime for adults. Connection is really my purpose. How can I create moments for people to connect? And I just love seeing you know, people get together and have a margarita and dance. And it wasn't about, here's my business card. It was, you know, what's your wildest dream? Or what do you do for fun after, you know, everyone has that ritual when you've gotten home after a wedding. What is that moment? You know, for me, it's ibuprofen, a glass of wine. You know, it's you know, I can't just go to sleep. I gotta have that moment of
Love Island wind down.
There you go. That's what it is. And so, but instead of being like, how many events are you doing this year? It's, you know, what are the things that...
No surface level. You're getting deeper. You're getting
You know what's hilarious is our bands with Lost Wax, we actually have a gathering after out-of-town events that we do.
Oh, and it's big about togetherness for you.
We have
legendary.
certain games. It's very similar to your recess event, but it is...
you can't say that.
We can't, but it is us at hotel rooms.
But we came up with it years ago because we wanted to. Whenever we get new band members in or just newer players coming through or whatever, and you know we have people that have been around forever, but then we have new players coming in and out. And like we want to give everybody a time when we're out of town to connect.
That bond.
You're not going to just go to your room and go to sleep. We're stuck out of town in the middle of nowhere. Like we're wherever we are.
And a lot of times we're sharing rooms with newer players together.
Yeah, we just met. Yeah.
And so what we do is we bring everybody into one room and we play like certain drinking games and we hang out. And what we've done is we've created like you're playing these drinking games and we'll tell like new players that we don't meet. Give us a song, like
do your
you have like a walk-up song, and we add it to a playlist. And through being band members, we learn through other people. Like music is our language, and we like. You know, it's like you have to play a different song every time. You have to pull it from your playlist.
Up with new rules
and by the end of the night, you're best friends with all the guys you're on the road with, and it's similar to your events.
That is the goal. That is the goal.
And it's the connection with the people that you work with and the people in your industry, and it is building those bonds together. And I just, the recess events, it's genius.
So y'all were talking about those. How often, you said you did it in Cinco de Mayo, how often do you get to do those events?
So it's something that I started this year, and I don't really have a strategy. It's just something that I started doing, but the next one I'm planning is for Dallas.
Love it.
Yes, and it hasn't been announced yet, but it's coming up, and it's really fun. Music has a component in it, of course.
Love it.
I'm trying to figure out how to hint to it without giving it away.
I just love the
I'll
tease.
tell you how
Give
we
us a
can
little
hint
bit.
to it is you follow Lemiga Events on Instagram.
Yes.
Follow all of the Lemiga
You'll
Events.
see some stories.
That's
Maybe
right.
See some stories.
You'll see all the stories. You'll get all the hints where to find it. Yes.
Follow along this magical woman.
Well, it's so funny because I feel like it's just that ideal with ours is just so aligned, and it's everything that it's the camaraderie, it's the togetherness.
That is how you get far in any industry, but I feel like in the creative world in general, just being able to for us to be moldable, but to have like clear visions.
Yeah.
So you know that you come here for connections. So you know that's what you're supposed to be doing. So everything that you're doing, you're not only connecting with your clients, but that moment is connecting the people that are coming to those events,
we work way too hard. I feel like there's a lot of things that we could do to make more money and than what we do. And I think it comes from a love of people and of service.
Oh my gosh, yes.
One of, the stories that really impacted me was COVID. Was really distilling down the heart of what we do and why we do it. I used to say, I don't save lives. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. Like, I'm not saving lives. It's just a party. It's no big deal. But I'll tell you, my dad passed away during COVID. Oh. And when someone you love dies, the first thing you do is you open those photo albums. You look at your wedding day. You look at the day that your baby was born. You look at the highlights, and it was really a point for me to remember we get to make the soundtrack, we get to design the rooms of people's highlights. When we leave this life, we're not getting out of here with any material things. It's the memories we create and the people that we impact.
It's the present moment.
Yeah.
It's the present moments, and we create the time
those moments
of being here in the now.
And so for me, it's an act of service. It's I look at every event that I do as the opportunity to create in someone's life. Wow. That highlight moment.
It's event church.
Event church.
It's event church.
There you go.
It's event
it's
church.
a ministry. It really is a ministry for me.
Oh my
it is
goodness.
a ministry.
It feels
and
such
it's going to still be gorgeous and over the top.
Of course.
Speaking of which, going to be at the highest level.
Speaking of which, on this point, because we were talking at the bar before you came here, tell us about your like during COVID, you did your friends.
Yes. Yeah. So
this is a great example.
I was really depressed during COVID because I was what are we going to do? What am I going to do with my life? And really a moment that shifted everything for me was I had a friend she was planning her friend's 40th birthday in New Orleans. They were supposed to go. Of course, COVID happened. They couldn't go. And she called me and she was like, it's her 40th birthday. Yeah. Like, we have to do something. And so she tasked me of like, I don't know what you can do. We can't touch each other. We can't be around each other. But we need to make this moment important for her. And so I created this concept of a car parade. And this was like the 1st of May. So like we had been shut down for 3 weeks. Yeah. But it wasn't just any car parade. We had, so the guest of honor, she's in her neighborhood. Her family brings her on the front lawn. She's like, why are we out here? She doesn't know me. I'm standing across the lawn. And all of a sudden, this second line band, a full second line band comes marching down the street. Behind the band is a whole line of cars, and they have decorated the cars. Everyone has on T-shirts that we made. They're throwing beads at her. Like, the joy on everyone's face. They couldn't touch each other, but there was just this moment of, I see you, I love you, we're celebrating you. She's bawling tears. Oh my God. The neighbors hear all the music, so everyone's on their lawn, and everyone's dancing. And it's like those moments, the magic that we get to create. It just distilled it down to me on just like the basic level of this is why I do what I do.
You made it work in a time where it's impossible for people to come together. You brought everyone together.
And that folks, is a Lemiga event.
Stop plugging it. No, but for real, that is so beautiful.
No, it is amazing. Like, you telling me that story,
it's
I was
so
like,
unique.
That is what we do as creatives. That is in you not even knowing the person and just being there and utilizing, like you were talking about, your ministry, your service to this that is it's a testament to you.
You're putting
and
your touch to exactly and giving them exactly what they want with a.
It's incredible. I mean, this is so
deeper,
inspiring.
I know.
This
it's
is
an
so
even
freaking
deeper,
inspiring.
You are meant to be doing what you're doing. This is so
thank
exciting.
You. Thank you.
So now I think.
Rapid fire question.
I think we're to everyone's favorite. This is my favorite.
My favorite.
From behind the screen, I always love watching this part. So how you answer these questions is, she's taking a drink. She's getting ready. Okay, so you got to whatever comes to mind very quick.
Okay.
Short and
kind of dangerous.
And sweet. You can elaborate a little bit, but we're just gonna ping pong. We're each gonna ask you something.
All right.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
You ready? Let's take a breath. All right. Rapid fire. Go.
All right. What's one design trend you secretly wish would disappear?
I hate trends.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Love it.
You want to lab?
I will lab.
Okay.
Anytime I'm like, when people are like, so what are the trends that you're excited for? I don't follow trends. I get to know my clients, I tell their story, and it represents who they are. So if they love the tackiest thing, I'm going to find a way to incorporate it and elevate it. But I don't do something because it's trendy. It makes no sense.
Yeah, because
Love
it's
it.
like so against your everything. Okay,
It is.
we're moving forward. Okay, so this is very niche, but for you do a lot of events. So do you have a signature scent for your events? Like what is it, floral smell, or is there like a scent in the bathrooms, or what's the scent?
So I have my own personal scent that I love. Because I'm someone who sense triggers like migraines for me.
Wow.
So I'm very sensitive to
Okay.
smell.
Okay.
So I have one perfume that I wear that I know doesn't
Plug it.
do that. Oh, it's Victor Rolf Flower Bomb.
Flower bomb.
Flower Bomb.
Victor Rolf.
Yes, my scent.
Sponsor
And
Lemiga
then
or
I know, right,
Backstage with us.
right.
I'll take some.
get on that. But I am actually designing an event right now where it's around color theory. And I want everything from what you smell to what you hear to what you taste.
So you're going to be looking into that.
What does blue taste like or smell like?
Ooh, my goodness.
What does red smell like?
When you said blue, I instantly thought of like whipped cream or like
Now,
cloudy.
does that mean
like
music, everything included too?
Everything.
I love
This
it.
is going to be,
Oh my
I cannot
You
wait
can
to
come.
see.
Planners,
You can come.
planners,
We can go.
take notes.
You can
go.
Come on,
Okay,
please.
we're going.
Yeah.
Get my invite. Let's go.
Okay, next we got
All
real
right.
quick.
If your event aesthetic has a background, who's the artist and who's playing in the background?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. So I actually was designing, I will have these epiphanies of this is the moment. And I don't know if you've heard, Al Green has a song, Simply Beautiful, but Maxwell has covered it. And I want this moment where guests walk in and there's this moment of, there's just something about the strings with the
Wow.
soul and the music. I've done events where the gospel choir is singing. I love music. I love music, and I know I can go on and on about music. I just love the way that you can use music to strike a memory. We all have the soundtrack of our life.
It's sensory. It's a sensory.
it is.
It's a sensory response.
I say it's the number one language in the
Absolutely.
world.
Absolutely.
There's not anybody.
It's
who
everyone's love language.
doesn't.
Everyone's
anyway.
love language has an attachment
There's
to
nobody
music.
who doesn't
It truly
like
does.
music.
It
There's
does.
nobody you.
And it may
But
be a different genre of music, but there's an attachment to
Yeah.
it somewhere in your
If
love
you don't
language.
speak the same language, music you do.
I ride a Peloton, and they have these instructors in different languages, and I don't know what they're saying, but I love the music that they're playing.
And you like what they're teaching. I don't know what you're
Exactly.
saying, but I like what you're teaching.
No, exactly.
Okay. What's
Okay.
next?
I know, these are-
Give us one thing in your event day bag that is like a surprising thing, like that you carry whenever you're about to go do your event for the day. What's
That
something
might
that's in there that people would
I
not
mean,
expect?
That's a hard one because I have probably a lot of things that people expect.
Okay. What's something for you that you only carry that you feel like nobody
It's like
else
a
can
just
carry?
in case.
So it might be sometimes you have brides that are really high strung and you're like, you just need a shot. It might be a little mini bottle.
A little bitty bottle.
It's a great
just take, because the guys, they have no issues.
Yeah.
They're loose. They've been drinking too much.
Yeah.
But sometimes brides, they're
Gotta
like,
leave it up to the dudes. I know.
they realize that they should have had that
Yeah.
sip of champagne
Relax
that they didn't have.
before the night
yes,
goes.
yes.
Yeah.
For
okay.
sure.
Love
Okay.
that. All right. Dream destination that you haven't done yet.
That I
You
haven't
haven't
wedding
done.
yet.
What's
For
your
a
dream
wedding or-
destination? Just a location.
I actually had a proposal, and I was like so close to booking it, and I didn't book it, and it was Lake Como in Italy. And I have some dear, dear friends that I've made that are Lake Como weddings. They do amazing weddings. And what I love is that I've created these relationships around the world, and I'm always like, there's literally no place that I can't go that I don't have someone that I can call and say, I'm coming to your city. Give me the intel on the right people to work with, what I need to know. And they were just amazing because they walked me through, like, did you know you have to pay for a music license to have music in Lake Como? Like, things that you would never know when you're putting together a proposal that you have to look for. So again, sorry, long answer.
No, that's great. It's funny because we were in I was in the van actually on the road on a gig with Peter Schlam. He's one of our keyboard players, and he does a lot of like jazz events overseas, and we were talking about work visas to other places as jazz artists,
and they're really cracking
and he was explaining to me the ins and outs of going to Australia and in Europe
even that,
as a working artist. Like, there's so much that goes into that people don't understand,
and you're making sure people can get in
to
these places.
Absolutely. I had an event in Mexico where they're cracking down, and so now they're basically making you pay before you can leave the airport. They've taken my vendors to the ATM machine to pay them.
Wow.
Because they have professional
I've heard of that
equipment.
Yep.
That blows my mind. The things we deal with. Okay. You can ask it.
I like this because I have kids. Biggest lesson your kids have taught you about leadership?
It's more about what you do than what you say. Like, we can say a lot of things, but if we're not following up with action, I can teach my kids so much more about what I do than what I tell them.
Beautiful answer. My goodness.
How you do everything. Well, how you do everything. If I was your kid, I would be writing a report saying how proud I am.
Oh, thank you.
I'm obsessed with you.
Michelle, this has been
the
incredible.
Best.
Like,
thank you so much. This is my first time on the couch. Like,
yes. Hey, shout out to Shelby Winfrey.
It's my first time on the couch. Yes, you did great
Shout out to both of us. Shout out to both of us. We are so thankful that you are here and that you came all the way to Kansas City. And I hope you love it. Now we're gonna go take her out on the town and show her our beautiful city.
Show me what Kansas City is all about.
We'll be your KC Connect. But
I love it.
It means so much that you got to share. Like, honestly, like, I'm so inspired. I'm sure we both are. But
every time I leave these conversations, I'm inspired. But Michelle, you have just brought it to a whole new level. And thank you.
The way you carry yourself in this industry is one in a million. I feel like it's so unique that we found each other and that, like, we're able to talk. And I hope, like, you feel uplifted because we want to uplift you, and it just means a lot that you're here.
And we encourage all of our Kansas City listeners to take notes from the great Michelle from Lemiga Events, because
we take notes from each other. We all learn in this business. I think that's what makes it such a special industry. It's like, I become better by working with you. You become better by learning more about me. And I love that on this thing called the internet, we can connect and meet. But I love bringing it to real life and making real connection, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we just had our own recess here. We're fixing to go have our off-camera recess here. That is Michelle.
Michelle Gainey with Lemiga Events, y'all. Please give her a follow her up. She's amazing. Look out for her secret events that are coming up soon. We'll be at one of them, the Sense one, the Senses one. We're going to go, okay?
Oh, yes, I'll wait for my invite. And again, it's Lemiga Events, Lemiga Events at Instagram.
Yeah, at Lemiga.
At Lemiga.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Website as
Please
well.
follow her.
Lemiga.com.
Please follow everything she's doing. If you guys are in the industry, this is somebody you need to be following. She's just the absolute best.
Y'all,
and thank you, Michelle.
And thank you for coming backstage on the big brown couch with us.
I love it. I love it.
We'll see you guys next time. Love you.
Love y'all so much. Good night.
Let's talk about it. Backstage in the green room, big brown couch. Welcome back. Backstage now. In the green room. Let's talk about it, big